Hello and welcome to the Earth to Marissa podcast. How are we feeling today? Let's go ahead and ground with each other. Let's take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And on this last one, take the biggest inhale. Let's do a lion's breath. Okay. Welcome. How is everyone feeling? We are halfway through October. And man, oh man, is it an interesting month. Let's be real. This beginning of October, being met with so much shadow. And now as I'm sitting in the aftermath of that, fully just soaking in all the juicy medicine, all the juicy goodness of what that held, I've been just embodying this super high frequency, this expansion, like nothing could go wrong kind of energy. Everything is flowing and magically coming in, and just the view has been totally different on what is possible, what is here, and it has just felt so good. So good. And then this full moon is happening tonight. I'm recording this early, so this is Thursday, October 16th, October 17th. And this will be going live on the Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. But yeah, so tonight is a full moon. And man, I feel exhausted. I feel fatigue. There's this almost distracted energy, this antsiness, this just kind of feeling, like icky kind of feeling. And so I'm just sitting with it today, and I get to show up as I am, which has everything to do with the topic today. We are going to be talking about the I am, what it means to embody I am. And just this has been really present in my field, and this is what has led to me just feeling all of those juicy, magical, expansive openness, possibility feelings. And two, when I was coming down and writing the show notes for this episode, when we are not embodied in the I am, we are putting our power outside of ourselves. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that and share some personal stories on where I've noticed, in the past, where I've worked outside of myself, and how we get to reclaim that power, and just invite you to look at your life and see where you might be giving your power away outside of you. And then we're going to talk about, of course, how to come back into that power, how to embrace all that you are in the I am. But to start off, let's go ahead and do some housekeeping. So I just got done channeling a message. I have been feeling the past 3 days just this knock at my door, if you will, to do a channeled message on timelines. And the timeline's coming through, and when I really tapped in, I realized, this is Yakiel coming through, who is a Pleiadian being. And Yakiel had some beautiful messages and beautiful, beautiful activations for us in that message. It was kind of like a channeled message mixed with a light language activation. And so I highly recommend go check that out. It's very interesting, and Yakiel brought through just a beautiful light language transmission to help us remove the density in our lives and align with the highest timelines that we are able to. And then, of course, if you are interested in your own Akashic Records reading or your own light language transmission or a nice little coaching call, you can go to my website and tune into the services that I have there, or just connect with me on Instagram. You can listen to this on Spotify, or you can watch it on YouTube. You can also watch it on Spotify. But tune in to all of the great meditations that are available on the YouTube. If you're into guided meditations, we got a lot of those. And I might do one for this I am, to come into a meditation to embody and open up our solar plexus and come into the I am. So check all of that out, and let's get into self-care. This week I have been focusing on a 10-day morning devotion practice. And so I'm on day 3 of the 10-day devotional mornings practice, and I was really inspired by Blue, who also has a podcast, Deja Blue Podcast, although she is no longer putting her focus towards that. But I was inspired by her because she does the 40 days of devotion practice. And 40 days is a lot of days. And so I was inspired, but I was like, you know what, let's start easy. Let's do 10 days and devote my mornings to myself. And so this looks like meditation. This looks like opening up the Rise Sister Rise that I'm reading right now and doing journal prompts. It looks like pulling oracle cards from my channeled deck that I have. And just really doing like breath work and sitting with myself every morning so I can start the day fresh. So day 3, that's my self-care plan for the week. The affirmation that I have been working with this week is I am all that I am. And it's easy to say that, but when you can actually just repeat it in meditation and really feel the frequency of I am all that I am. Say it with me right now if you have time, if you have the space. I am all that I am. To me, it just fully wipes away this pressure to be anything else, this pressure to be somewhere, this pressure to create or to do. It just brings you right into the present moment of who you are, where you're at. And it drops this guard of trying to be this thing always. So just I am all that I am. Just relaxing into that and relaxing into you, essentially, into your energy, into this present moment, and into all that you are and can be. So that is super juicy this week to be sitting with. And of course, the I am symbol card came up. Are we surprised? No. This is actually a new one that I channeled, was it last week? Very recently. And it is just so beautiful, the frequency of this symbol. It really does bring you back to your power. It connects you with the whole of your being and what you came here to be, not just in this lifetime, but as a soul fractal of the source. It connects you to this deep, deep energy, this deep knowledge that you have gathered over all lifetimes. And this knowing that I am, and you can be anything. It kind of comes in and helps to release the stories that are creating resistance around you claiming what you are and what you want to be, and that are getting in the way of, you being the center of your universe, because we are all the center of the universe. So this is the I am, and this is the crystal that I am pairing with the I am. It's orange calcite. And orange calcite to me really feels just so soft. And it's this strength that comes in and brings and ignites this creativity, this energy within us that our light can then illuminate out. And a lot of people associate I am with the root chakra. However, I heard recently by Matthias, what's his last name? I will link his name below. I'm doing a course with him right now. It's a path into the universe, basically. And so he's breaking through the universe within us, which is each of our chakras. And when he got to the solar plexus, it makes sense that the solar plexus is the center. We often associate the center with the heart, but it is actually, in his teachings, the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is the center because it is our light. It is where the ego lies. And the ego actually means I am. The ego is necessary for us to have in order to be this separate entity from Source, to be this personality, to be this light that shines and reflects back to Source. And the I am is very connected to the sacral chakra, which is our emotions and our creation. And so how can we, in our power, create with the energy that is flowing through us and that surrounds us? And so it's this beautiful harmony. And so orange calcite really, to me, just helps you to connect to the center, because it connects you to your creator energy. So go ahead and check out that symbol, check out the crystal, and enjoy that this week if you choose to. And let's dive in. Okay. So I heard this quote this week as well. Everywhere I go, there I am. And this was really cool. I had a mentor talk about this, and she said, I've never heard this quote, maybe you have, but she said it's oftentimes associated with like trauma healing, which I don't quite understand out of context. But she talked about reframing it into such a positive thing, like everywhere I go, there I am. There I am. I get to be anything in any place, and everywhere I go, I am always here at the center of it, in the chaos, in the sticky situation, in the beautiful experience. There I am. And we get to experience all of it. We get to flow through all of it because it's part of the human experience. That lights your spirit up when you get to experience something that you never thought you would. Or when you get to experience what we would consider a hard time. Like, that shit is freaking like energy drink for your soul. Like, they are loving it. And so everywhere you go, show up as you, show up as your authenticity. And even when you feel that you have lost yourself, you never have. Because you are right there, always. This connection, this solar plexus connection to the universe, to your own light, is always present with you everywhere you go. I really enjoyed that. And how the I am has been coming in for me really is through this course that I've been taking. But I had this moment of really connecting with it. And I was by the ocean when I was just on my trip. And Mateus talked about in the course how he was trying to build this network to help the earth and activate Earth's ley lines. And he was searching for this network and trying to find it and just going out of his way to try and make this happen. However, when he sat down and really tapped into the Metatron cube that lays within our sacral chakra, and that is the sacred geometry there, basically, that holds any and all things that we want to create. He kept hearing this, I am all that I am, I am. And he realized that he was the network. And he had been putting it outside of himself, thinking that he had to look for it. But in that moment, he realized, I am the network. I am the connection. And when he embodied that, he started to literally become the network. People started to show up in his life. Things started to come together. Everything started to flow harmoniously because he became the very thing that he was wanting. And this was really beautiful. And I had my own moment with this kind of thought and idea. I'm calling in just new financial opportunities. Calling in new living possibilities, calling in new connections, calling in, just all these things to kind of refreshen my life. And as I was sitting there just thinking about this, I desire new opportunities. That was the thing. And I heard Spirit say, I am the opportunity. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty rad. I am the opportunity. Because I've also been working with this affirmation that when I take care of myself, I am taken care of by the universe. And so it just came together so beautifully, and it was this full circle moment of right now, I am the opportunity. There's this opportunity to take care of myself. There's this opportunity to sit in receiving with myself. There's this opportunity to grow and expand within myself. There are so many opportunities on a inward basis that I can take right now. And so instead of looking for opportunities outside myself, let's become the opportunity. I am the opportunity, guys. You are the opportunity. And I'll tell you, right then and there, when I tapped into that energy, everything shifted. I felt this click into place, soul remembrance, bam, boom, bam, just feeling. I am the opportunity. And then I took it further. I was like, okay, I see, I understand. Okay, let's go. So what else? What else am I? So I'm looking for become the thing. Become the thing that you are asking for. And so, I'm trying to live on my own. So how can I become that? Whoa. I am the home. Pew. I am the house. I am the home. And just like sitting with that just ignites every cell in my being. And if this is over your head, girl, like no worries. Just play with it. If it resonates for you, that's amazing. If not, take it with a grain of salt, Like you get to decide, you get to question everything, you get to play with what comes forward in your life. So play with it. But yeah, I am the home. And when we start becoming this home, like how do I feel in my home first? My home is my body. It's my mind, body, spirit, emotions. It's my heart. So how am I feeling in that home first? Before I start to go outside of myself and look for happiness, or like almost like manifesting for an end goal that you think you don't already have in your present now moment. I think that's the biggest issue people have when they manifest, is that they're constantly trying to bring in things that they think they don't already have. And so the universe feels that frequency, and it comes from lack. It's coming from lack. It's not coming from, I already am this thing. I already have this thing. I'm grateful for this thing. Let's see what happens when we expand it. Let's play with an even bigger frequency of this thing, And so, yeah, watch yourself when you're manifesting. And I have definitely been doing that too. Like, what am I creating, and what is the vibration in which I want that creation to come in? And so, yeah, I am the home. I am the opportunity. And then too, I am the connection. I am the connection. It's not outside of me. It's not something that I find or that happens. Yes, we connect to things every day, but we must be the connection in order for that to happen. So just embodying that, taking it to a deeper level. I am the connection. 2, if you're looking for a relationship, this one is really interesting. I am the lover. Or just, I am love. And there's this really beautiful idea of like, if you're wanting union with someone, how can you first become in union with yourself? And you'll oftentimes hear love comes when you least expect it. And usually those least expecting love are focusing on themselves, or are focusing on just growing within their own, And so come into union with yourself first. And it would be interesting to see what happens. And as you embrace, I am unity. I am unity. Then you will attract that same energy. Or I am the lover. How can you become the lover for yourself, for other people's, for the earth? Like, I am the lover. And like attracts like. If you read ACOTAR, you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Like attracts like, okay? And so when you become these things and become these frequencies, you immediately, like, your spidey senses, the energy goes outward and it matches to resonant vibrations. And then those vibrations create a connection or a timeline, or just how I'm seeing it is like almost like a rubber band. Like the rubber band attaches, and then it just like slowly starts pulling towards you. And so yeah, just becoming the thing that you want, because when you become it, you attract it. So that's how I've been working with the I am. And it's like this deeper way, because it's easy to like just say affirmations like, I am a boss ass bitch that has the perfect job, blah, 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 blah. And it just gets wordy, and it kind of gets like, like, I am the perfect hire for the job that I am looking for. Like, yes, however, what's the root of it? What's the deepest thing? Okay, and it's like, okay, opportunities for financial abundance. Okay, I am the opportunity. I am the connection. I am the lover. I am the channel, even. I am a receiver. That one always feels really good. Because if you're trying to receive abundance or receive anything in your life, become the receiver. And then it just becomes easier to receive, right? So I've been really working and thinking of this kind of idea, and like, I swear to you, I started doing that, like 2 weeks ago. I had a check come in the mail. Don't know why. I was kind of confused as to why I received it. But it was a legit check for $1,200. Like, literally speechless, and so grateful to be held in that way, as I'm in this time of transition. And I really fully believe it's because of this inner work that I have been doing, this carefree spirit that I have been taking towards this situation in my life. Because it gets to be fun. Like, a lot of people would be so stressed out and like rushing to find a job and rushing to, find a new living situation because their current one is, shit, or just, and a part of me, an older version of myself would be viewing this unknown time in a very different way, And I'm so grateful that I am supported right now to be able to play with it and play in it and undo, the old ways I used to react to this unknown spirit and energy. Like, yeah, I don't have like a major main financial income situation happening right now. However, I'm totally good. I just received $1,200. Like, that's incredible. I get to focus on myself right now. And I get to come into a place of harmony with me before I put my energy and focus it onto something else. I get to create and just follow inspiration and be. I get to be. And that feels really good. Just leaning into that and trusting that everything's going to align. Everything's going to work out. There's literally no need to worry. This is a dream anyways, right? We all live in a dream. And so let's have fun with it. I don't need to force anything. I can just be and know that when I need it, I will receive it. And anything that I need to know, I will know it exactly when I need to know it. And it doesn't mean I'm not like taking action too, or like looking for things or looking for these new places to live. Like, I still get to take action, but I'm doing it from a place of calmness and not, I have to find a place, I have to do this because everything's gonna fall apart if I don't, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, the frequency is different. But right now I'm just focusing on becoming what I desire. And let's talk about just areas where we give our power away. And I really do think like that's an instance where you are putting your power outside of yourself. Instead of embracing your own power in these moments of unknown, you are allowing these underworld spirits to come in and create chaos in your life. Create this chaos that makes you think you won't be okay if you don't immediately find this thing that you're looking for. And so you're giving your power to these thoughts and ways of being, maybe without even knowing it. And so how can you bring that back into self, bring that back into the very love that you are, and remind yourself that you're fully taken care of? I think we have been infiltrated when we start to think that if we do not have this thing, we will not be okay. And that is when the infiltration creeps on in and those underworld spirits come on in and they just have a ball game, okay? Like, yeah, you're gonna be okay. Like, no matter what. You don't need something or a thing to live a happy life or to be who you be. Sister, brother, queen, royalty, king. You know, you can be anything you want to be at any moment. And so there was this really interesting experience that I had with kind of reclaiming my power. And it was when it kind of has to do with being taken advantage of in any way. And I had a friend reach out to me after months of not talking to me or checking in or anything. And they were like frantically freaked out because they had just moved through this big transition and they were like trying to switch their energy, and they were like, I know you can do this, please like help me in this moment. And I don't know, it felt really weird to me, and I'm not sharing all of it. However, I can tell you that in the moment it felt really icky to me, because it was like, okay, I haven't talked to you in probably like 5 months, really. I don't really know you or feel like I know you anymore, and we weren't super close. This was not like a close friend or anything. This was just kind of a person that I would hang out with occasionally. And then out of nowhere, you're asking, like, you're first just like dumping all of this on me or at me. And then it just felt like they didn't actually care about me, and they just cared about what I could do for them. And that really hurt. You know, that doesn't feel good. And so I said no, because I was like, nah, like, I don't want to be taken advantage of in that way. And I don't think I actually gave a very clear response. I was just like, let me think on it. And then I kind of ghosted, which, like, it happens. Didn't mean to, but I think we have all accidentally or intentionally ghosted people. But I was just like, no, like you are just wanting to take advantage of my services for free, like was asking me to do it for free. And it just didn't feel like an equal energetic exchange anyways. And so I kind of like, I just had a lot of energy come up about being taken advantage of. And I still have not talked to this person about this. But I am planning to. It's just been a while, which it's okay. Like, you need to take as much time as you need to process the thing. And I did. I was like, before I respond to this, like, I need to go inward because this triggered the fuck out of me. And I was like, okay, let's go inward. Let's really sit with this. Like, why is this so triggering, before I responded? And I'm really proud of myself for doing that, because an old me would have responded, but that response would not have been coming from a place of love and light, man. And not that all of your responses need to come from a place of love and light, but I think it is this portion of radical responsibility where just watch where you are responding from. Are you responding from a wound or the trigger, or are you responding from a collected self that has kind of realized and brought self-awareness as to why you are being triggered in this way, and responding from just a little bit of a detachment, Anyways, so months later, after this experience, I have another friend who I haven't talked to in literally probably like over a year. And this friend, we were close at one point, but they moved away and just kind of got disconnected. However, they reached out and they were looking for advice, and they were wondering if I could channel for them to help them with this advice. And immediately I was like, yeah, of course, like, would love to. This is my price point right now. I used to do this. We used to play around and I would just kind of channel for them, and so I think they assumed that that's how it still worked. But like, baby boo, like, if you are growing and you are expanding and you now have a price point for your service because you are at this new level of self and growth, it's okay to set a boundary and continue to hold that price point, even if you are doing something for a friend. Like, make sure there's an energetic exchange out of it. You do not have to give your services for free because you once gave them for free. You can decide in any moment what feels right for you. And it felt right for me. I was like very busy, at that time. And so I was like, yeah, this would be good energetic exchange. Like, this is my price point right now. And they were like, cool, got it. And they never ended up responding to, set something up, which I just thought was funny, because they definitely didn't want to pay for the service, but that's okay. And in that moment, as I like sent that back to them, I had this realization of no one can ever use you or take advantage of you. You are the only one that gets to decide how your energy is being used by someone else, how your energy is affecting or going out into the world. And it's so easy to drop into the victim of they used me in that situation, or point the finger and say they were the one that made me do this, or I did it because of them. However, reclaim that, show up as a radical, responsible person, and know that there's literally no way that's possible. You are the only one that gets to decide where your energy goes and what your energy does. And that blew my fucking mind, okay? In that moment, I was like, shoo-wee. Like, there was no way that first friend would have ever been able to use me if I would have set that boundary with them, you know? And I'm grateful for both experiences, because the first experience brought up a lot of just inward energies that were stagnant and needed moved. And the second friend, after those energies were moved, the second friend brought that realization. And so now I do get to set healthy boundaries and come forth with a remembrance, reclaiming my power that I am the only one that gets to decide what happens here with my energy, what or how my energy is put out into the world. And so reclaim that. If there is an area in your life where you are feeling used or you feel taken advantage of, I hate to point it out, but you're allowing that to happen to yourself in a way. There are different situations where that might not be the case, and I know that there are very sticky situations that some people are in. However, just ask this question and see what comes forward. Gently inquire. It's all about gentle inquiry and compassion towards self. Like, if you do come to the realization that, oh my gosh, I have been allowing my energy to just be used in this, or to be affected in this way, or I've been allowing myself to do this or be treated in this way, you know, it's showing compassion for yourself and then choosing differently, moving differently. And so reclaim your power. Reclaim your power in that moment and come back to the I am. And in that moment, I am the decision, or I am the decider. There's another story that I could share that has been coming up recently. And it's kind of about this moving out again, which is really interesting. So I was in a relationship a few years ago, and when I met this person, I was like, dope. Okay, I can travel with this person, and they have experience living all over the world. Okay, cool. Love that. And I was super excited about that because I had been wanting to move out of state for a very long time. And I was just so excited for this idea of the potential to move out of state. And so I moved out of state for a little bit. I traveled out of a car for 3 months, which was a very interesting and wild experience. And as I was called back to my hometown, I was humbly also greeted with the falling apart of this relationship. And after the fact, I realized unknowingly that I had given my power away because I thought that I couldn't leave this state without someone else, or without the help of someone else, that I could not live on my own without someone else. So I had given my power to this person, and basically was running the program that, like, they are the ones that's going to help me live on my own. They are the one that will help me see all these things. They are the one that will help me to move out of state, you know? And so it was coming from this very murky place. The energy was coming from a murky place and into the relationship, and in a way I was just, manipulating the situation in that way, I guess. And I realized that the veil lifted, and when you're in a relationship and the veil lifts, you can't go back. There is no going back. And so when I saw this clearly, what I had been thinking and doing, I was like, oh shit. Like, I don't actually love this person. I've just thought that I had to be with them because I wanted all of these things. And, in some ways, I did deeply love that person, for sure. Like, that's no question. Like, I did deeply love that person. And the connection that we had. However, there was a large part of it that was being fed by this murky energy of me giving my power to someone else because I thought that I couldn't do it myself. I thought that I was incapable of doing something. And so after that relationship, I went into this deep self-discovery. I told myself after that, I was like, I do not want to enter another single relationship before I come into the knowing that I can do anything on my own. Like, I want to know so deeply that I can do absolutely anything on my own before I enter another relationship. And I wanted to reclaim that power. Because I had leaned into being provided for. And then I just kind of assumed the role of the receiver, and I stopped giving. That's not fun. So I'm now in this current relationship that I'm in. We are talking about moving in together and moving out of state, and have such similar goals as where we would like to live and what we would like to do in life. And this is my person. I feel it so strongly. And I think it's really interesting because I totally thought, back then I was like, I'm gonna move out of state by myself. I'm gonna move out of my parents by myself, and it's gonna be awesome, and I can do it independently. And now I am being met with the potential of doing it with this person again. Well, not the same person, just doing it with another person. Again, I'm being met with this. And I kind of talked to him about this the other day because I thought it was really interesting that now I can see what I've done in the past, and I really want to claim my power and know that I am doing it and they just happen to be doing it with me. I'm not doing it because I needed them to do it or because I couldn't do it on my own. I'm doing it with them because I want this, and I know it is possible for me. And I think that's the point of reclaiming my power in this second time around, is I'm doing this for me, not because of them, not for them, not anything to do with them other than the fact that I love them and I would love to live with them too. But yeah, I'm doing it for me. I am the mover. I am the home. I am the one that takes this step forward. So that is just another story that comes up when I think of reclaiming your power, and I would love to hear your stories. Go ahead and comment below if you want. And how can we really reclaim this power within ourselves? I mentioned it takes radical responsibility. You really got to look at yourself. And some people don't like their own reflection. but your reflection holds so much wisdom. Your reflection holds the very answers that you have been looking for, because your reflection is you. And all that you need is inside of yourself. All the power, everything that you desire, it's not outside of you, it's all within. And once you can find it within, then it starts to reflect back to you in your reality. And so be radically responsible. Call yourself out. Call yourself out. There's no shame. There's no shame when you find yourself that you've been doing something. You get to call yourself out and just come back to center. What would someone working in unconditional love do? Or is this thought, is this way of being, is this way of acting coming from a place of unconditional love? Another question. In what I am doing, is it for love or of love? I have been asking myself that a lot, and I have really, really enjoyed working with that statement. And it's really interesting what will come forward, because the things that before I thought I was doing from a place of love, I realized I was doing it for love. And it's like, whoa, when you start to just discover these areas in your life, and then you get to change them. You get to come back, bring them back to center, bring them to the sun that lives within your solar plexus, your abdomen right above your navel. And allow that sun to transmute them and bring yourself back into your own power. And acceptance really has been helping a lot with this. And it's acceptance in the way that it's easy to give our power away when we think things are happening to us. But in all actuality, things are just happening. Things are just flowing. Life just is. We just are. And let's accept that, with the knowing that whatever does unfold, it gets to be for our expansion. It gets to be for our higher self. And we get to stay in our power no matter what unravels. And accept that, I'm being asked to rest right now. I'm being asked to look within and not necessarily go out and really, really search for a job. And two, when you accept that, you take away the resistance, because you're working with what the universe wants for you right now, with what your higher self wants for you right now. Because if I was going out and looking for a job, I can tell you right now that I do not think I would be finding what my soul needs, because what my soul needs is coming in still. It is still coming in. And so acceptance helps to release the resistance in all situations. How can you say yes to life and yes to what the universe gives you, presents to you? Say yes to it in every moment with this acceptance and love, knowing that it is the best moment no matter what it is. And stay in your power while stepping out of the victim and the blaming mode. And there are solar plexus meditations that you can do to come back into your power. But I think the biggest one is just playing around with your personality, playing around with who you are as a being and reconsidering that. Who are you at your very core? Why did you come here, and what standards did you come here to live by? Just checking in with that. Ask your spirit, what standards did my soul come to live here by? I think that will lead you to your center. That will lead you to your sun. Because you are the sun, you are God, you are Goddess, you are Source, you are the universe, you are. Period. You are. And one more practice that I've been doing and that Mateus suggested is to meditate and visualize that you are the sun in this solar plexus center, and every person in your field that you love or that's just in your field is a planet around you. Because we are the center of our universe, and when we connect with the center of other people's universes, and then it becomes this like giant all that is circle. And so start to visualize the people around you as these planets. And when you're meditating, focus on one of those people and notice if your body sways towards them or pulls away from them. And see if you've been looking for validation, trying to, pull that validation, or trying to get close for love. And then, as you visualize them and notice which way your body sways, bring it back with the intention of recentering your connection and coming into your power again in that connection. And it's wild. I have done this with a couple of people, and I've noticed that the next time I see them, the energy is different. It has really shifted. So I send you on your beautiful way with those words of wisdom, if you want to call them that, or just, personal discoveries that I've had. I hope they help you. I hope that you got a lot out of this podcast, and I am all that I am. You are all that you are. She is all that she is. He is all that he is. They are all that they are. We are all that we are. Play with those. And have a beautiful rest of your week. Enjoy the closing of October. Almost. Not quite there, but we're almost there. Okay. Bye for now.